Hi. So, hey, I wanted to share a brief update on some of the decisions and conversations that happened at the Board of Supervisors meeting on Tuesday, on March 4th. It was an incredibly long meeting. I think it was around 6.5 hours. So I'm skimming through on just a few of the highlights. One thing I'll note, and this is something that happens at every Board of Supervisors meeting, we do a little pause for pause, which is an opportunity to promote some of the cats and dogs that are available for adoption at Pima Animal Care Center. And I shared that I just adopted a dog from there. His name is Ribsy. He is an adorable little puppy. And while I was there, spent a whole lot of time looking at the other animals. And so please, if you've got room in your home and your heart, please do go out to pack and bring in another little four-legged friend into your home. We had a couple of important updates that were shared by county staff, and these are now recurring updates. So one is on the county initiatives to address homelessness and public safety. There was a great sort of slide presentation that was available up on the county's website now. And some of the things that were mentioned, and I think the things that really stuck with me, is that reinforcing, obviously, that we have a housing shortage, and also that there are inefficiencies, tremendous inefficiencies in the ways in which people can get housing, and those processes and the limitations that requirements lay out just make it really difficult for who can actually get housing. So for example, a statistic was shared that 7,689 people came forward applying for housing assistance. And of those, only 1,069 met the requirements, and of those, only 535, about half of them, less than half of them, were actually housed and provided some housing services. So clearly we have greater need and some gaps that we have to address urgently. We also had an update on the federal and state kind of executive, legislative, judicial actions that are affecting the county. Top of mind, of course, is the freezing of a lot of the federal grants. So $150 million worth of grants are kind of on the line within Pima County that Pima County has received. Of those, 94 million are kind of grants that were kind of one-time large sum grants that we are a little less worried about. The ones that we are really worried about are about $56 million of kind of recurring, active, ongoing grants that are pretty much integrated into what the county does. So obviously we will continue to monitor that and advocate and keep our fingers crossed that our judicial system stays strong and blocks some of the freezing of these essential funds that keep our community together and provide the services that we need here. We also talked a bit about the House vote on the Trump budget, which would result in an $800 billion cut in Medicaid. 30% of Pima County residents are on the Medicaid rolls. And those numbers tend to be are higher in the more rural areas, which is what District 3 is. So we're deeply concerned about the healthcare impacts for Pima County residents based on some of the actions that are happening at the federal level. We also talked about the budget. Pima County is in the process of going through and developing the next fiscal year's budget. This meeting, as well as in the last meeting, we spent a lot of time looking at the supplemental budget. So the supplemental I think it's kind of a misnomer. It's basically anything that departments and other elected officials in the county that they are requesting that are above and beyond what was in the last year's budget. It does not mean that these are new items. So in many cases, these are simply things that have increased costs due to rising costs. be it utilities or kind of across the board. So it is not just new programs and new things, but it is also the increased cost of just doing business and continuing on. The budget process is a lengthy one. We will have I think a final vote on the final budget at the end of May, and then a final vote at the end of June, and the budget comes into effect at the 1st of July. If you're interested in looking at the supplemental budget and the items that are in there, it is all on the webpage from the county that looks at the notes from Tuesday's board meeting. We also had a hearing around a new ordinance that was proposed by District 1 that would set some parameters around fireworks and large fireworks shows. It laid out that fireworks shows could be canceled if the winds exceed 10 miles an hour and if we are in a the degree of drought that we are experiencing. We had a lot of discussion about it. We did not actually arrive at sort of a final decision, so that ordinance is going to continue to be worked on a bit by the county administrator and talking with other people who have interest and stake in fireworks shows. So more to come soon on that. On the addendum to the agenda, I wanted to flag a couple of grants that we authorized, that we approved. So one was for $33,000 to Emerge, the Center Against Domestic Abuse, to provide for emergency solutions, grant for emergency shelter. We also approved a $540,000 grant that went to Compass Affordable Housing, to provide for countywide rapid rehousing program. We also approved a development along the southeast corner of Drexel and Bonnie Avenue to develop 80 homes that would be low-income, affordable rental units that would be built by Spire Development Company. Lots of other things were discussed. Like I said, it was a really long agenda, but please do go back and check it out on the county's YouTube page, and you can find the notes and all the attachments for every agenda item there. And don't hesitate to log into the next meeting, or you can just check out this update afterwards. Thanks a lot.